as an indication that the spread of COVID-19 was getting better. But now the number of Americans dying each day from coronavirus is once again on the rise. More than a dozen states are currently experiencing a deadly surge. The virus has already claimed more than 133,000 American lives. We should also point out nearly 1 million Americans have recovered from the virus, and among them, Randy from Jacksonville Beach, Florida. The 77-year-old was discharged from the hospital today after spending 15 weeks battling the disease and getting a well-deserved fond farewell from the hospital staff there as he left. But tonight, the scene across many hospitals is much more dire, and public health officials fear it may get worse. Our Matt Gutman has the very latest.
Tonight, haunting new images. Another victim of the virus wheeled out of El Centro Hospital, the COVID capital of California. And outside the Fry Chapel mortuary, those white mausoleums for COVID victims. Refrigerator containers. The number of dead tripling here, too numerous to handle inside.
An average month used to be between 45 and 50, and now we're into the hundreds.
And when you say cases, you mean bodies?
Yes.
Sheila Kruger owns the mortuary. Her staff, like family to her, not immune from the virus.
We lost 6 of our staff to COVID.
You had 6 of your staff members out because of COVID?
6 of 8.
In your 33 years in the business, have you ever had to use refrigerator trucks before, or containers?
No. No, we've never seen anything like this.
The daily death toll now rising in 17 states and 12 states setting new records for hospitalizations. President Trump has touted the nation's lower death rate, but late today, White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx warning the surges in cases will lead to more deaths.
We have not seen this result in increased mortality, but that is expected as the disease continues to spread in some of our large metro areas.
The nation's top infectious disease doctor, Anthony Fauci, saying we are living in the perfect storm right now, urging states with severe outbreaks to shut down. And moments ago, Atlanta dialing back to phase 1 and Las Vegas closing bars starting tonight. But the governors of hard-hit Arizona, Texas, and Florida, ardent supporters of President Trump, taking little action. Doug Ducey, the governor of Arizona, announcing Thursday a reduction in indoor dining at restaurants, a measure already previously in place.
I feel as if my father was robbed of his life and that his illness was completely preventable.
Kristin Orquiz's father, Mark, died after a 3-week battle with the virus. The obituary she wrote for him going viral.
I knew if I didn't say something, I couldn't trust that anybody else would.
Kristin writing her father, like so many others, should not have died from COVID-19. His death is due to the carelessness of politicians who continue to jeopardize the health of brown bodies through a clear lack of leadership and refusal to acknowledge the severity of the crisis. The president traveling to Florida today, a state with 11,000 new infections and 92 deaths in just the past 24 hours. But the event didn't focus on the virus, but on illegal drugs. And the president did not wear a mask, and neither did many of his senior advisors. And the visit comes as a new ABC News Ipsos poll out today shows Americans are not happy with his leadership on the virus, 67% disapproving of the president's handling of the pandemic. Texas setting records for deaths and hospitalizations with more than 10,000 COVID patients. The governor there saying they're running out of time. In hard-hit Harris County, which includes Houston, officials shutting down all testing sites due to the extreme heat.
Yeah, people just cannot get a break there. Matt Gutman joins us from El Centro, California. And Matt, we saw there in your piece how the governors in various states are handling or mishandled the response. What are doctors that you're talking with telling you?
I just spoke to the CEO of the hospital here, Dr. Adolf Edward, and he had been a battlefield surgeon. He had been deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, and now he is here where they've had to medevac 600 patients since COVID began. Their death rate has more than doubled. He is in it right now, and he said, when I asked him, how do you think the political echelon has been handling this, he said, I would give President Trump an F- on this. They have been slow to implement mask wearing, and President didn't wear one today. They have been sending the wrong messages. This is not the kind of help we need here in order to save people's lives. And he wanted that message out, Lindsay.
And Matt, tell us about the space that you're in right now. Is this for overflow from the ICU?
Right. There are so many ICU patients. They went from 12 to more, then they expanded other rooms and sections inside the hospital. There's no more room in the hospital, so they have created this. It's not an ICU yet, it's just additional beds, but it could be in the very near future. They have to prepare for that. And not only have they prepared for this one, they are going to build another extension here in El Centro. That's how bad this is. And you saw in the piece, the deaths have basically tripled just over the past couple of months. This is one of the hardest hit counties in all of California and, in fact, the country. Lindsay.